Hello everyone, it's your boy NoukonNeko, your perfect feline friend, a purveyor of good vibes. So today we are here to play some Genshin Impact. There's this event that just popped up today, and it's probably going to be our main focus. But it's probably going to be kind of short, right? Because most events, when they just appear, doesn't take too... you can't really get too far in it until a bit later. But I'll see what I can do for now, and we'll just go from there. Yeah, if it's short enough that I can kind of continue the main interlude story, which was what we had originally planned for, but I didn't see this event coming so soon. But yeah, here we are. So let's go get this started. Probably would be easier if I actually went from here. Librarian's long and carefree vacation. Oh, so someone's gonna take a vacation soon, and you can kind of see that you're gonna get her new outfit from this. Yeah, I don't really have my Lisa kind of worked on, but she's...
Sorry to interrupt, everyone. We finally have some real dream experts joining us.
Dream expert?
Experts, this way, please. Now, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask them.
I don't know if this is from the main interlude, because we just unlocked it, or whether this is from the new event, but we'll see.
They must be dream experts from another land. Great!
Oh, I have a question. Me first! Me first!
No rush. Everyone, please line up and ask in an orderly fashion.
Whoa. Paimon didn't expect them to be so enthusiastic.
My question is simple. My everyday life is very difficult, so I would like to become a slime in my dreams. How can I do that?
Wait a minute. I'm the dream expert? When did this happen? Oh, that's a tough one. Honestly, I don't have any good tips for that.
Oh, Paimon knows. Paimon's had this kind of dream before, so she knows a thing or two.
What?
The first time, Paimon became an animal slime. Paimon was shot by an adventurer's arrow and flew in the sky all night long. The second time, Paimon became a dendro slime. A group of kids thought Paimon was a radish and pulled out all the grass on her head. Oh, it was super painful. The third time, Paimon became a cryo slime. In the end, Paimon was captured by a chef and turned into a smoothie.
Life as a slime doesn't sound too glamorous from the way she's making it.
And the fourth time, Paimon became a powerful Geo slime and went to take revenge on the forest boar that used to bully Paimon. But then the boar showed up with all of its relatives and Paimon lost again.
Wait, why did all of your dreams end so tragically?
Because slimes are monsters, even though they look cute, they usually cause trouble and end up getting killed by adventurers. Things don't tend to end well for monsters. Believe Paimon.
I want to interrupt, but at least she's grasped the standard tropes of adventure stories.
I suppose you're right. They are monsters, after all. I just want to experience a different life, but it seems that becoming a monster would be even worse than my current life. Maybe I'd be happier if I became just a regular finch. Or fish.
Looks like being an expert is way easier than Paimon imagined. Next!
Oh, it's my turn. Esteemed expert. I want to know what posture I should sleep in, so I can have the same dream as the one I had last night.
How? Why are we answering these questions? When do we become experts of sleeping?
Well?
Yes, please enlighten us, esteemed expert.
Hey, you're supposed to be helping. First, why don't you tell Paimon about the dream you want to have again?
Oh, it's quite ordinary.
I sat and chatted with my wife on a sunny day, listening to the breeze blowing through the valley.
Why don't you just find your wife and talk with her? There's no need to wait for a dream.
Well, unfortunately, she passed away.
That's unfortunate. Sorry to hear that.
Oh, sorry. Paimon shouldn't have assumed anything.
No, it's fine. I didn't make that clear. I just want a chance to see her again.
Yeah, that's understandable, right? To have a dream of somebody that you no longer see. Well, have you tried looking at her photos right before you fall asleep?
Yeah, it's not really about posture. What you think about right before falling asleep is probably way more important.
Oh, is that all I have to do?
Think about it. If you're the one thinking about her, and you're the one that'll be dreaming about her, then it'll be easier to connect your thoughts and dreams.
Oh, okay, I get it. I remember now. I forgot about the main storyline, but before we did the whole main story in Sumeru, no one could dream. But now that we kind of took down the whole thing that was sucking everybody's dream, they're dreaming now, and now they don't know how to do it normally. Kind of weird thought, but okay. That's why we're here.
You do have a point. I'll give it a try tonight. Thanks for your wise advice.
Oh, my turn. I want to know the name of the plant in my dream.
I want to bring the souvenir box to my room into my dream.
I dreamt of a raven flying over the wasteland last night. Does that have any kind of special meaning?
Hey, no rush! One at a time! Their questions were way too difficult. We don't actually know anything more than they do. We're just more experienced dreamers, that's all.
They didn't really care about the answers. Vivid dreams are just really exciting to them.
You do have a point. It's more rewarding to explore and contemplate the meaning of a question than to focus on the answer itself. Right now, these people are like wanderers who've starved for 3 days and 3 nights and are desperate to replenish their energy. Any explanation they get now is like pure sustenance to them, no matter how good the explanation really is. Oh, and now that Paimon has said that, you know who comes to mind?
Nahida?
Bingo! If she was here, she'd probably be making some similar analogy. Unfortunately, she's super busy right now and may not have time for gatherings like this.
Dear experts, we have another guest who would like to consult you.
But you saw how we answered all the questions just now. We're not really all that knowledgeable.
Ah, but this guest is rather special.
Oh.
My question is, why didn't you immediately tell me about such an interesting place? Huh? Nahida, how did you get here? Interesting events like a moment of dreams don't happen every day after all. No matter how busy things are, I'd still set aside some time to check it out. Anyway, I really didn't expect to meet you here. Oh, right! If there's anyone that understands dreams, it's you! You should be able to help us answer all these questions. You're not wrong. All right, they can ask me anything. The more interesting, the better.
Is it tough to talk to her?
Huh? What's wrong? You were all so excited a minute ago. Why the sudden hesitation?
I think they need to build some courage first.
Even so, it's not like I look super intimidating or anything, right? And in terms of reputation and renown, you've also done many great things in Sumeru, yet they didn't even flinch at you.
Still, not quite the same as approaching an Archon.
Alas, the interesting questions have all vanished in an instant. It appears I'm the one spoiling the fun here. I'll see myself out.
Aww. People, why?
That's not true, Nahida. I don't want to get in the way of the original purpose of a Moment of Dreams, which is to let people gather here and freely share their marvelous dreams. Now the atmosphere here is like water poured into a container. The water is more secure and settled, but it has lost its free-flowing nature from the river. I just want it to be another drop in the water, not the cold and restrictive container.
Hello, Dislight. Welcome to my channel. I think this is the first time I've seen you here. But yeah, just doing a Genshin main story from the looks of it, accidentally. But yeah, okay, is she doing what I think she is?
She's sulking. Hey! It's alright, everyone! No need to be shy. The Dendro Archon is really nice, so please just go ahead and ask. Otherwise, she'll leave.
Yeah, I really feel sorry for Nahida right now. It kind of sucks. She really doesn't want to be a party pooper. But no, it sounds like wherever she goes, it's gonna happen like this. But I wonder why. Like, don't people don't think about the greater Rukkhabata now, right? They kind of think of the greater Rukkhabata and the lesser one as the same person now, right? So I guess they don't know her too much. So maybe she's just too unknown for them.
All right. I'll give it a try.
Oh, it's the slime guy.
Hey, drop the nicknames, would you? Besides, I don't want to become a slime anymore. Maybe a finch or fish is more suitable for me.
I see. So you want to become a small animal in your dreams, right? Why do you think that sounds good to you?
I guess I just want to experience something different. My everyday life is nothing but the same. The sky is right above me and the ocean just over the horizon, yet I remain caged in a life of monotony.
So you want to experience something new in your dreams? Sorry, I'm getting a little confused. Why don't you seek out some new experiences in real life?
That's kind of true. Like, you can't really dream of things you haven't experienced before, right? So that's a good advice, really. It's not just about dreaming, it's about actually doing the real things too.
Because if I don't work, I won't have any mora. Sure, I don't want to be out hammering nails and cutting wood every day, but I have aging parents and young children to take care of.
Tough responsibilities. I'm in the America server, by the way.
By the time this all dawned on me, I realized that my life has already been filled to the brim by trifling matters, and I have no more freedom.
But if that's the case, then even if you became a flying bird or swimming fish, you will still be hammering nails and cutting wood in your dreams. The reason is you've already been caged. It doesn't matter what your physical body turns into. Your mind will still be stuck in the same predicament.
Really? That sounds pretty terrible. Then what should I do?
I don't know everything that you're going through, but how about replacing your hammer?
Get a new job?
Replacing my hammer?
That's right. Having worked for such a long time, you of all people must know what makes a good hammer.
Well, of course. A good hammer needs to be heavy enough to drive the nail in with just a couple taps, and the handle has to have a good grip to it, not too smooth. Come to think of it, I haven't replaced my current hammer in quite some time.
So it's just replacing your tool, huh? Give you a new experience?
You should replace it. Then decorate the handle with something you like. Maybe some ornaments, fur, or hard leather wrapping. Then write the names of your children on it.
That makes sense. I think it'd give me a good boost of energy at work.
A new sense of adventure often begins with the little things in life. You don't need to become a bird in the air or a fish in the sea. You only need to do your best in life, and all those things you cherish will become your source of happiness.
Yes. Yes, I get it now. This is a real eye-opener for me.
Yeah, it's much better advice than what Paimon was giving him earlier, right?
I'll go and pick out a new hammer right away. No, I should make one of my own. Thank you, Great Dendro Archon.
That's our Nahida! Only you would know how to get right to the heart of the problem. Actually, I didn't really understand the problem. Huh? I gave him that advice because I once saw a worker doing the same thing. Whenever he became tired, he would look at some names on the handle of his tool. After a moment, he'd start to smile. It really surprised me at the time. My guess is that the names on the handle were of important people to him.
I think I understand. You were just drawing from a similar example.
After observation, I know this kind of behavior motivates people. But why is that? Is it because of excitement, anticipation, or helplessness? I really don't know. And even if I could know what's going through his mind, it's still difficult to fully grasp his feelings.
That's right, she has problems with emotion.
Oh, Paimon gets what you mean. Huh. Paimon had no idea it takes you so much effort to understand these kinds of things. That's why I was a bit nervous just now. But luckily, seeing his happy face in the end reassured me that I didn't say anything wrong. Don't mind me, though. This is just my way of learning.
I'm happy to help if you ever need it.
Hey, don't forget about Paimon! Everyone knows that Paimon's also super skilled at reading people's feelings. Thanks, you two. That makes me feel a lot better. Let's move on to the next question, shall we?
I already asked the experts my question earlier, but I wanted to hear the Dendro Archon's response too. What should I do if I want to see my deceased wife in my dreams every night?
Longing for the deceased.
Is she remembering something about Greater Lord Rukadavata? Wait, does she remember her? I know I remember her, but I don't know if Nahida does. Because we technically kind of erased her existence. But anyways, no, she shouldn't be able to remember anymore.
Even if you keep reliving those beautiful memories, it'll only highlight the emptiness in your real life. If your wife were still alive, she certainly wouldn't want to see you like this, would she?
No, I suppose not. But our time together in my dreams is not just reliving our past together. I don't know. Maybe it's because I miss her too much. But it's really as if she had come back to life in my dreams. She even remembers each and every dream. After I wake up and then continue dreaming again later, we can pick up our conversation right where we last left off.
That's really amazing. Statistically speaking, continuous dreams are extremely rare.
That's true. It really happens for me as well.
It's almost as if my wife has obtained a second life in my dreams. But the more vivid she appears, the emptier I feel, and the more painful it is when I wake up. I don't know whether to call it a blessing or a curse.
Maybe all of this is rooted in your deep longing for her. Were there any unresolved matters or regrets between the two of you?
I don't know. I suppose my biggest regret is that I couldn't spend the rest of my life with her. I really felt like I was ready to move on. I wouldn't be so hesitant now if it weren't for these hyper-realistic dreams I've been having.
Huh. You know, they say that whatever's on your mind is what goes into your dreams. But dreams are and will forever be just dreams. We are people living in the real world. It's not good to be overly obsessed with dreams. All it'll do is fill up your mind and eat away at your thoughts.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm also a little disappointed in myself. I still need to take care of our child. And it's probably not good to let her see me in such a state. Anyway, thanks for your advice, Great Dendro Archon.
I'm a little worried about him. I hope he can find a way to cheer up soon.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. Technically, the only thing that could probably make him happier would be technically find someone else. But that's hard for someone who is really attached to someone they've been like, you know, have more attached to before. It's difficult to move on, but eventually people do over time. It's just, I guess he needs a bit more time. It's crazy though to think that this is happening after, you know, all the events in the main story, because he hasn't had dreams of his wife until recently, right?
I think I can handle things from here. You don't need to stay here if you find it boring. You're here to have a good time after all.
Heck on Illman who is depressed. But okay, am I stuck? Might be stuck. Okay, maybe I'm not stuck. I'm a-okay to continue with the event story. Let's head over there. We'll just leave Nahida here for now. But yeah, that's definitely the main story. Oop. Main story, which I'll worry about later. Main interlude story. Today we're here to see Lisa, if that's who we're going to see. I don't know.
Welcome to the Citadel of Regzar. Would you be interested in taking on some commissions?
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from this event, really. Because this is a different one compared to previous ones from the way it looks.
Are there any easy jobs where we can earn loads of Mora for just standing around? Oh, better yet, for just sitting around? That's the kind of task we're interested in now.
We don't currently have any commissions like that. However, I do have some relatively simple requests from residents that will pay several thousand Mora.
Really? That's all? That isn't nearly enough for Paimon.
More the better. Want something a little more lucrative.
Yeah. Effendi, are there any high-paying commissions available?
Ah, I see. Let me think. Spontamod recently initiated a research project on the ley lines and is looking for paid volunteers. There are several researchers in Spontamod who specialize in studying ley lines, so there is a great demand for ley lines data. Researchers often need to enter domains to investigate ley line disorders. They have been understaffed for some time, even after recruiting a good number of their own students. So, now they've turned to recruiting large numbers of volunteers. They offer substantial pay, but they also have strict requirements for the quality of the volunteers. Are you interested?
Well, what are the requirements?
Yes, let's walk through the recruitment process. First of all, are you proficient with one or more types of weapon?
I'm skilled with one-handed swords.
Very good. How's your understanding of elements? Are you capable of using elemental powers?
Well, I know a lot about elemental reactions. I am experienced in using elemental powers in battle.
All right, I'll put you down as the Traveler, right? Okay, I finished the registration. I'll be coordinating the necessary supplies and payments for volunteers later.
Has this guy never heard of me before? I feel like a lot of people in this game, NPCs, kind of know the Traveler, but this guy is like totally oblivious.
You'll have to find Gafoor for more details about the job. However, he has an important visitor today, so I don't think he'll be in the academia. According to the standard protocol for receiving visitors, he will most likely bring the visitor to the Puspa Cafe. You can go there and talk to him when his time with the visitor has finished. He sounded like he was in quite the rush to recruit volunteers when he contacted me, but now he's showing a visitor around. Seriously, who could be so important?
Is that Lisa? Wait, is it Lisa or Lissa? I feel like either way it technically works, like tomato, tomato, but I do like to say it the way they introduce themselves.
Hi, darling. Are you going to be Lisa's little helper? What? Me? A grand mage? That was a long time ago. I'm just a humble librarian now. Don't worry, darling. I'll take very good care of you. So...
Just remember how she was. This is not going to be a dangerous episode, is it? But, yeah, so it's Lisa. So, let's go see what's up with this event, which I'd be surprised if she doesn't appear in it. Cafe. Over here. Been here for a long time, or have I even been here before?
Do you still remember what the coffee's like here?
Of course. How could I forget? It used to be my go-to drink here.
That's definitely her, and that's definitely not her normal clothes.
Listen, Gafur. I suppose I should call you Professor Gafur now. We're old acquaintances, so how about we stop beating around the bush, hmm? First you wanted to catch up, and now the coffee. If you have something to say, just say it.
Oh, that's Gafur. He's the one we're searching for. But he seems to be busy talking with someone else. Maybe we should wait for them to finish.
Oh, well, it's nothing really. It's just that ever since you left the academia, our original projects and plans have lost their backbone, so to speak. Cyrus is also disappointed. He's always valued you as a proud disciple. To be honest, it's a real shame that you left the academia, Lisa. With your wisdom and intellect, had you stayed in the academia, you would have become a herbot by now.
It's Lisa. What's she doing here? Yeah, I kind of predicted this would happen.
Hold on. That's Lisa. The librarian Lisa. Our Lisa. Paimon heard that Lisa had studied at the academia before, but that was a long time ago. What's Lisa doing here now?
If I'm reading the situation right, you're reminiscing about the past to convince me to come back, aren't you?
Well, I heard that you're currently the librarian for the Knights of Favonius in Mondstadt. If you ask me, that's a tragic waste of your talents. Why waste your time and energy on something as trivial as taking care of a library? Your time is much more valuable than that. If you're willing to come back to the academia, I have plenty of projects for you to preside over right away. The academia needs people right now, and some of these projects are quite important.
Yawn. So all this talk is to convince me to come back. I'm guessing Professor Cyrus doesn't know that you're talking to me about this.
As a matter of fact, he has long wanted you to come back and work at the academia.
Is that so? You know, Professor Gafur, it isn't a good idea to lie to people. Our teacher knows exactly why I left the academia after only 2 years. He would never ask me to come back. Giving up my life in Mondstadt and returning to the academia as a Spontamod researcher. The price of seeking wisdom is no longer something I'm willing to pay. So please, don't bother trying to get me to come back.
Wow! So Lisa used to be a Spontamod researcher? Paimon's never heard her mention it before.
I don't even know how high that kind of tier is, but must be pretty impressive if it's her, really. Keep your voice down. Shh, Paimon.
Besides, taking care of a library is important work. I've never considered it a waste of my time. Wisdom is hidden in every corner of the world. Never underestimate wisdom, no matter how small it may appear. That's what our teacher always said. A good scholar wouldn't overlook the small details, Gafur. I'm sorry. I'm still not used to calling you Professor. Nevertheless, the underlying meaning of what you just said is simply wrong. And there's one other detail you probably haven't noticed. 2 people have been eavesdropping on us for quite a while now.
Uh-oh. Paimon, you're just too loud.
Is there anything we can help you 2 with?
Hello, Lisa.
Long time no see, Lisa.
Well, if it isn't you 2. Long time no see, cutie. Paimon.
Excuse me, but what business do you 2 have here?
Well, actually, we're here to participate in a research project on ley lines for Spontamod. We just finished registering with Effendi.
Which is when we happened to run into you, Lisa. Yeah, we didn't want to interrupt your conversation.
A research project on ley lines? Oh, darling, you haven't joined the academia, have you?
Only as a project volunteers.
Alright, Effendi told us a research project is looking for paid volunteers. That's what we came to see Gafur about.
Paid volunteers? Gafur, is the academia really that understaffed? Or are there projects that insist on the use of outsiders?
No, the paid volunteers are for a conventional project to monitor the ley lines. All operations follow the prescribed safety protocols. We rely on a lot of manpower to collect the data. There's no way around it now. But if only you would agree to come back and preside over some matters, we wouldn't have to go through all this nonsense.
If memory serves me right, collecting ley lines data requires investigators to go deep into domains, which can be dangerous.
We've seen our fair share of combat since leaving Mondstadt. Exploring a domain is like a walk in the park to us.
It's been so long now. I can only imagine what wonderful stories you have to share.
So there's nothing to worry about.
Since you 2 are here to apply for the project, then please wait a moment while I talk to Lisa.
I'm sorry, Gafur. My answer is still no.
Aren't you even a little bit interested?
I have never regretted my decision to leave the academia. I don't think that will change in the future.
I thought after all this time you would have a different answer. But you're still as obstinate as ever, Lisa.
She made her mind up.
I'll only make a fool of myself if I keep insisting. In that case, I still have unfinished business to take care of, so I'll take my leave. See you at the Darshan reunion in a few days.
Yes. Don't worry. I'll be there on time.
As for you 2, please come see me later in the Mautiima Forest when you're free. We'll need your help with the volunteer work. Oh, and one last thing, Lisa.
Yes?
I wish you the best of luck in Mondstadt.
Thank you. Well then, cuties. Now that the recruiter is gone, we can sit down and have a good chat.
Recruiter? You mean Gafur?
Much has been happening within the academia, and Gafur is paving the way for his future.
By the way, Lisa, what brought you to Sumeru? Are the Knights okay with you being gone?
Of course. Jean gave me an extended paid vacation. It's rare that I get any time off, so I thought to myself, why not go on a trip and relax a little? I don't know how much of our conversation you heard, but I studied in the Spontamod Darshan at the academia for 2 years. But instead of staying at the academia after graduation, I went back to Mondstadt to become the librarian for the Knights of Favonius.
So that's why you came to Sumeru, right? To walk around and meet with your old friends and teachers.
Why did you choose to leave the academia? Yeah, that's the question I've been wondering on top of my head.
You'd like to know, wouldn't you? Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt if I told you. After all, it was ages ago. If anything, it all boils down to a difference in philosophy. When I first came to the academia, Professor Cyrus really appreciated my work and invited me to participate in several major projects. But most of those projects ended in failure. To be honest, they went too far trying to achieve wisdom beyond mortal understanding, so failure was only to be expected. I didn't want any part of that lunacy, so I left. Anyway, now that I told you, make sure you keep it between us.
Sounds like you've experienced a lot.
I don't wish to return to the academia, even if Professor Cyrus came to ask me personally. Rather than conducting experiments day and night, I'm much more suited for working hours that start after 10 a.m., with regular afternoon tea every day.
Oh, Lisa chose to be a librarian because she doesn't want to deal with hassles all the time.
That is Lisa's style.
I prefer to take things at my own pace when it comes to tiring tasks like a job. And besides, being able to take regular vacations is also really important. It's a pity I didn't even have time to visit that child in Gandharvaville yet. Gafoor found me just after I arrived in Sumeru. Speaking of which, what about you two? What brings my favorite cuties to Sumeru? I see. Even I didn't expect them to be so bent on their pursuit, wanting to even surpass the gods. Sounds like you were involved in some remarkable events again, and I was completely unaware. And to think, you were even able to handle a crisis of that magnitude. Cutie, your abilities are really beyond measure. Having accomplished such a feat, I'm sure you must have a lot on your plate right now. I was actually thinking about inviting you two to walk around Sumeru with me.
Oh.
What a pity. It's very rare for us to meet like this.
Well, I'm not that busy.
Oh, then would you like to spend some time with me, darling? That would be wonderful. I plan to spend the next few days visiting around Sumeru City. At the end of my stay, I'll leave from Gandharvaville and return to Mondstadt via Liyue. Who knows? Perhaps we'll bump into each other again in Sumeru City or Gandharvaville. Come to think of it, there's something romantic about such a chance encounter like this. It's like icing on the cake for this little vacation of mine. If you see me around, be sure to come and say hello. Otherwise, I might start feeling lonely.
Great. I guess we're going to the forest. That's kind of far. Luckily, I have a teleport point right here. What's this, though? Even closer to teleport point. Yeah, I don't know how she exactly ties into this event, but we just continue this little domain research leyline project thingy. Hello, Gafoor.
There you are. Looks like you two are ready.
Yep.
Very well. Let me inform you of some details. Spontamod has been involved with the ley lines for a long time, and it's imperative that their current is constantly monitored. This research project was also organized to help meet this demand. However, because abnormal fluctuations often occur in Sumeru domains, we must regularly send people deep into various domains to record the situation with the ley lines. Since it's often dangerous inside the domains, we've established a rule of only dispatching personnel with combat capabilities. It'll be your task to go into the domain and record any ley line anomalies. However, if you encounter any danger, please prioritize your safety. Well, those are all the necessary details. When you're ready, you may enter the domain.
Sounds really patrol-y. In each second blooming event challenge, Traveler must form 3 teams and engage in 3 consecutive rounds of combat. They must defeat all opponents in the allotted time and can earn bonus points from the time they have left. You will earn different levels of insignias based on the scores you obtain. During the party information process, linked characters will appear in the party multiple times in your round and gain buffs. Each team can select 2 support skills to help them do in battle. Okay, so this is an event that's not new. It's just kind of reskinned to have a different kind of story. It's a domain and you're just bringing multiple different groups to do battle. Should be pretty easy. And yeah, it starts with just 1 for now and a second one coming up soon. Ooh, yeah, and the whole purpose of this event really is to get you to try some of the new characters. So, wait. Doesn't it tell me... Oh yeah, it does tell me an Emmy. So we have a bunch of runes, some big guys. And there is a disorder. A special mark in a random opponent causes them physical and all elemental resistance to decrease by 30%. After defeating the marked target, all parties will enter a valiant state. When the character hits the opponent, the shock will unleash at the opponent's position. This effect can be triggered every 2 seconds. Yeah. Okay, just hit the person that's marked. Seems to be the case, and you just need to do 4 teams. Oh, whoa. Oh, interesting. So this is a little bit different right here. This is a new mechanic. So it's not exactly 3 separate teams, but a team. Some of the characters get shared in between teams. Okay, well, who to share is the question. Ayaka could appear in multiple teams. Like, I'm thinking a little bit too hard on this. I don't think I want Diona to kind of be appearing in multiple teams, though. Okay. Actually, I could make it like kind of Yaka focus, but I could also technically hide them too. But it will probably be more efficient if I use the Yaka kind of starting point. So I could just kind of keep it almost normal here. Let's go ahead and keep Diona in here, and then for the top part, we could have Kazuha. Then skills. So quickening, normal attacking, electro damage, dendro damage with mastery. It's totally not what Ayaka is kind of known for, but she still could make this pretty easy. We'll stick with normal attacking for this group. One more thing though. Let's go with that. Okay, next team. It's gonna be a frost team for both of them. Put Zinksho down there. Then, oh, I kind of want Zinksho or Yelan kind of appear in both teams. So let's switch Zinksho and Yelan around. Like that. show. Fun. And Venti? It's literally the same team, just with different characters that are really similar. Except for the last team. The last team was going to be kind of different. Figure skill. Literally the same thing, so... I guess I could do Element of Mastery, and then... crit damage? Sure. I don't think those are gonna really matter so much. And then for the final one... I kind of want to try like a taser build. So we're gonna put Raiden in this one. It's gonna be like a lot of Raiden, some water electro, and let's throw Dendro in mix and see if I could also throw some. Should I do Kuki? Maybe some healing. So I guess I could do Jean and then Nahida. This one I could throw the Dendro effects alongside. I can also do this one too. Oh, that's burning, quickening, aggravate. Yeah, that counts. And electro, right? And Dendro. Technically, any of these work. We'll still go electro. Okay, we'll start with this. Not that I don't think it's gonna matter so much.
Look at you, Boot!
Yeah, these guys are gonna be pretty weak. Like, compared to like Spiral Abyss, this is like very easy. Aww.
Think you can bully me?
That's right, I still have Diona in the party too.
Here we go. Time for
It's just crazy when you have two crowd controllers, right? Venti and Kaza around.
go.
And around. This is a little bit different because this is not normal for me.
Busted.
Oh, I forgot. Characters will move around. Oh,
Illusion
start with you first, then mark them all.
Make yourselves at home.
Okay, and then
Gotcha. I swear by my sword.
maybe Electro's a little bit too strong for these guys.
Inazuma shines eternal. Shine down.
Yeah, that was a bit easy. Oh, wait. There's a multiplier. I can make it harder. Okay, first of all, let's see if that's enough. Nope. So you have to do a higher multiplier to get all the rewards. Okay, we'll try this again. But how do I increase this difficulty? Wrong button. Obviously, we're gonna do hard. Take the same teams, so I don't have to remake the teams again.
Think you can bully me?
Same drill.
One with wind and cloud.
No, my sword. Witness the power.
Live a little bit longer.
My apologies.
Just a little bit more.
Break the ice. Take flight.
Shake your hand, stir.
Wind strike. Rain out my...
Same deal.
Think you can bully me? Scratch.
Brace yourselves. Think you can get away? Things are about to get dicey. My apologies.
Yeah, their turret's dropping left and right.
Think you can bully me? Scratch.
Even though they're kind of trying to get you to do other things, my usual thing kind of does the trick.
Let's play. Time for takeoff.
Okay.
Game's up. Fun's up. Whirling snow. Illusion shattered.
I see
Mark them.
Sharing my knowledge.
This is totally not needed right here.
Quietly now.
Okay, let's go ahead and take them all out. Okay, that hurt a little bit.
Hey, stop.
Ouch! Wait. Okay, well, I need a heal.
Hear me.
Make yourselves at home.
Shine down.
Forgot about these guys.
Gotcha. Here.
Okay, maybe I should do this as well. Not that it matters. These guys are all Hydro, which doesn't do much until their shields are down. Oh, I don't know why I did that. I should be doing this instead.
Sharing my knowledge.
I swear by my sword. There is no escape.
Do this as well. Point difference is like very different. It's huge. Like even just one round is enough to actually get the max reward. And this is still way easier than Spiral Abyss. But I mean, I guess it would be harder for people who don't have as much characters, right? The fact that I have so many good characters to play around with, that means whatever round I put those characters in, they're gonna do really well. Okay, we're done. We're done with the first one until... Well, how much time we have until the next one opens? 36 minutes. So I want to wait that long. I could probably wait that long. We'll keep streaming until the next one opens and I could do it. And in the meantime, I could continue doing the main interlude story. So let's go ahead back to Sumeru. And also, how much time do I have? I mean, resin do I have? Ooh, 73. I could go burn that really quick too. But it might be better for me to wait after reset, so it counts for my weekly. Yeah, probably be better. So I'll do all of that in 36 minutes. And in the meantime, I'll just continue doing the main story. Okay, where was I? Where did I get sucked into like Nahida's story? This one, right? All the way up here? Or is this something different again?
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand? An essay. That means facts and logic.
Yeah, I think this is a different one. I think what happened earlier was we got pulled into Nahida's main like character story, and this is actually the interlude right here.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tatara Suna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? The strange location, the missing details, a mysterious person. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the only reason I came to you.
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read it. There's no getting around that.
Okay, but...
Did one of them just mention Tatarasuna? But that's all the way in Inazuma!
Yeah, it's the almost like the nuclear reactor incident that happened there. We had to fix.
Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Everyone here's just going about their business. Maybe it really is just Paimon. Guess people here are free to research pretty much anything.
Still, let's go listen in.
Great! Let's go find out what this Tatarasuna mystery is all about.
Version of Genesis. Yeah, I have no idea what this is all going to be about.
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
What coincidence. Looking for me? If you're looking for the traveler, that's me.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
You don't believe me, I'll go.
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Oh, Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatarasuna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it and wanted to learn more.
I see.
Sorry, I can't help this time.
My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past. But who'd have thought that...
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive for a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a Kabuki Mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger, someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabuki Mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens? Seems kinda fishy to Paimon.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow! Did I get lucky!
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the government records office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in Inazuma over 400 years ago. Even back then, Tatara Suna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too.
Could it be?
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in this story now?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
Oh, I mean, so Kazuha's story was locking me from doing this interlude for a long time. So it would have something to do with Kazuha's like ancestors.
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
The Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
There's more?
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years as a writer, this is by far the most.
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabukimono was not a human, but a puppet. ...
A puppet?
Drogon's puppet that the lecturer Archon made should be ruling Inazuma with her as we speak. It didn't be her. The Kabukimono has to be the Balladeer. But what was he doing 400 years ago in Tatsuruna?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
There's that Paimon. Hope she keeps her mouth shut.
No. Paimon just meant, how creepy. The way you described it makes it sound like a ghost story.
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And that's exactly what my book is about. Please, take a look.
This is really long. We're down for a really long reading. Let me grab a drink very quick. Just a little sip of water. The Isle of the Darkling Clouds. Arthur Sawada. Extract 1. A man arrived in Tatsuruna around 3 in the afternoon. From afar, he spied laborers walking along the mountain roads towards the factories, their shoes scuffing along the jutting stones. They walked like people, convinced that so long as they reached the fire raging in the mountain's belly, they might extract from it gems beyond price. The mood that the sight inspired was ineffable, beyond more description for those not present to witness it. The man barked a cheerful greeting and sprinted to join the procession. There, a towering character who stood half a head taller greeted him with a heavy slap on the back, and yet his words were filled with respect. Do my eyes deceive me, Sir Mizaki? I cannot think that the return trip here from Inazuma City could have been easy on you. Miyazaki smiled like a young man taking the first steps on their journey. Expression relaxed. Why, Katsuragi? Inazuma is the realm of the almighty shogun. I sailed upon the fastest ship, strode upon the swiftest sea routes. What dangers I have possibly faced. And what about the good news? There are some, naturally. 2 burst in uproarious laughter, roughhousing with the other workers until the path's end. A young man dressed in a linen shirt and wearing a headscarf gazed into the dancing flames of the furnace before him. Now, the flames of the forge are unlike the other, for their intensity affects the resulting integrity of both metal and blade. So too, then, was the Flame Watcher as an unusual individual. At his fingertips sat a lizard. On his face wore a smile. The workshop was huge, and the furnace was deeper within. A reasonable person might think that there should have been many working alongside the Watcher, yet he stood alone. Only when Katsuragi and Miyazaki strode into the room did the Watcher turn. The Watcher was Niwa, an armory officer and the administrator of Tatsuruna, born into the Niwa clan, which served as one of the 3 pillars of the Ishin art. Niwa never argued with his siblings and was a worthy successor by all accounts. The post he received as a result of his high standing with those in power served as a statement unto itself. Miyazaki handed a well-bundled text to Niwa as he adjusted his expression and said, "It is as you have said, sir. The elders of your clan in the city do not think highly of your plan. Yet I still believe it to be worth a try. As such, I have found the proper vendors and procured the materials that you requested." Niwa studied the text and nodded. "We should try some of these new forging techniques. Neither Kadahara says yay or nay." Katsuragi frowned, and with a sigh he said, "Forging is a precise and difficult undertaking. You know better than most, sirs. And still, you seek improvement each day with terrifying drive. Ah, should my lord Nagamasa hear this, the sourness in his face shall be hard to miss." Niwa smiled in replying, "How goes the forging of your lord's great blade, Katsuragi?" Katsuragi neither wanted to shame his master nor lie his 2 friends, and yet he could not think of any way to deflect, and so groused, "I see. Your ears as keen as your hands, Sir Niwa. The jokes of us unlearned men are as nothing before you." Miyazaki hid his grin. Upon hearing this, Niwa released the lizard from his hand into Katsuraga's palm. But just as more words were to be exchanged, someone came walking nearby, their footsteps light with the celerity of youth. The head that peeked in was around, and in the light of fires, looked like an oil jewel. The young man placed some boxed food at the side and nodded. He prepared to leave. Katsuragi called out after him, "What about your share? Aren't you going to eat it?" The young man, upon hearing those words, found himself slightly at loss. After a while, he answered, "Very well, I'll try it." "You're welcome to the food. We eat all the food the same fare, after all," Niwa said. The man nodded and left, seemingly deep in thought. Extract 2. I think we're halfway. Or maybe a third. The Kabuki Kimono was by the coast. Sunset fell to the accomplishment of the dark. The bands of the twilight showed themselves not, for in their place did thunderclouds roil, grumbling the omens of a coming rainstorm. Darkness filled the flesh of the sea, and the dust bade the clouds to kneel upon the land. His supplication mirroring the kabuki mono, with knees bent and face pointed towards the waters. None passed that way, and none knew what he was waiting for in the silence. Time passed, unmeasured, unaccounted, till a black cloud suddenly tore free from the sky and began circling around the kabuki mono, bearing down on him like a nightmare. Though he was not aware at first, after his stunning gaze was refined by time, he understood. The cloud had marked him from the very start. Outbound, a fishing boat drew near, the lights of its bow flickering in and out of sight. Beneath falling sheets of rain and mist unspooled across the area, stealing sight from the fisherman. Repeatedly he exclaimed, "It is but dusk. How are my eyes darkened? Is there anyone who can deliver my boat upon safe tides?" Like a falling spear, the black cloud reached the bottom of the boat and was joined in bereft bereft of direction. Like a charging beast, they plunged into the shoreline. Scant steps away, the kabuki mono stood idle, slanting his head to study the grand wreck. Not but half an arm was left of the one who had cried out for help, and with a plop, it landed at the kabuki mono's feet. He crouched to better study the object, straining against the urge to take the bite of it. Yet he did not, for the dark cloud swirling down had already picked the remnants of the ship clean. The kabuki mono stared at it blankly, like a awakened dreamer. When he returned to himself, the clouds had scattered, as if they had been there all along. As for the ship, could it have been struck down by a storm? Who was to know? Not the kabuki mono. Huh. Still trying to process all of this. But you could kind of tell that some big accident happened. And the kabuki mono, was left standing from this wreckage. But okay. Continue with to the third extract. Katsuragi rushed to the doorway and shouted, "My lord, things go ill at the furnace. I have searched for Sir Niwa, but there is no trace of him. And much time has passed since Sir Miyazaki left to seek aid, but he has yet to send us any missive. Look." Mikoshi Nakamasa turned slowly, his face grave as one attending a funeral. He spoke then, his words heavy laden. "I wish not to say such words, Katsuragi, but Sir Miyazaki may never return." Katsuragi peered into Nagamasa, broad stiff shoulders beyond the windows. The clouds above boiled in the wave of black, as if darkness now was only weather. It might even morph into a abyssal beast and devour Taratsuna Ho. Tatsuratsuna. I've been saying that name wrong. Over 10 people has already perished. And that's why. Katsuragi recoiled as if struck. Yes, it is coming back to him now. In dribs and drabs. That was why they have set out to seek aid. Miyazaki has been the first to set sail. The clouds had only begun to form then, traveling from Tatsuruna to Inazuma to ask for support. It's normally no great feat, and yet there had been no sign of his return. Then a second ship was sent, followed by a third and a fourth, to the kabuki mono himself, had departed upon the tides, under the foul skies and ominous fortunes. It had been Katsuragi who had brought him back and treated him as his own, and it pained him greatly to see the lad go. Yet the situation in Tatsuruna was severe. Even should they sacrifice more lives, it would have been worth it to gain assistance from Inazuma City. And penalty for Argentina. Who's the GOAT? What? What are we even talking about? There's no GOAT, was there? Anyways, continuing the story. Niwa was gone and none could find him. Afterwards, Nagamasa had led a search party into the mountains in the area around the furnace, all to no avail. Both began to wonder if Niwa might have encountered an accident. But worry soon turned to suspicion. They wondered if he had fled, unwilling to bear the sin of having caused these accidents. The people grew even more suspicious, and Nagamasa himself strained against his discontent and fury. His face has grown to resemble the rumbling clouds above. Suddenly, a figure flashed by. Their presence did not go unnoticed by Nagamasa. He drew his blade and cut, though he only nicked the silken veiled intruder wore for a moment. They swayed, and then, like a marionette pulled by strings, they moved behind Nagamasa, laughing darkly. "Are you seeking someone, my lord? Niwa, perhaps?" Nagamasa bellowed in fury. "You dare address Sir Niwa directly!" Yet the figure parted like a mist before his falling blade, only to rematerialize beyond reach, but beyond sight. A ghastly apparition indeed. "Is it you who slew my people?" Nagamasa howled and charged, held back only by Katsuragi's desperate grip. As his senses returned to him, he realized that he was but an inch away from falling into the furnace. It seems that the rest of this work remains unfinished, but from the existing text, however, it's apparent that this novel is of fantastical, colorful sensibilities, born from an imagination well utilized. Yeah, it's quite a story that it's really hard for me to kind of fully imagine correctly.
Oh, and please read my essay draft as well.
There's more? How much more? Okay, well, maybe his will make a little more sense. It's probably going to be more dry, right? A brief analysis of possible events of the historical importance of the Tataratsuna area. Tataratsuna. Yeah, I'm trying to practice singing it. Anyways, author Apapa. Aquapa? Abstract. Oh, this is going to be really dry from the way it sounds already. The Tataratsuna area has always been a major pillar of Inazuma's smithing industry. 2 incidents have occurred here, and details behind the first was vague at best. I believe, however, that there might be a hidden history behind the events that has transpired. Hence, this paper will attempt to analyze what may have unfolded from the available data. Glossary. Tataratsuna area. Gaden Gokuden. Mikoshi Nagamasa. Kabuki Mono. Introduction. This paper continues and expands the work of my mentor, Mr. Rumi, in his report on the happily hidden tales of Tataratsuna. And it's intended to further the avenue of research. According to the data, the blade forging techniques of Inazuma was originally handed down from the Lecture Archon, also known as the Raiden Shogun. Using the arts they inherited from the Archon, the people of Inazuma devoted themselves to the process of forging. However, a strange rumor that do not quite fit the steely nature of metalworks yet linger about Tataratsuna, which was a central pillar of the forging industry. There, the Mikoshi and Nawa clan, along with a eccentric puppet, serve as the three windows of insight we need to investigate the truth behind what happened. Body. Strange notes from Tatsuruna area. The contents are follows. 1. Perhaps I overslept, but I think Sir Nakamasa's mood grows better when he forges blades. The deception to cleanse the stain of the name Mikoshi must eat at him. Also, Sir Katsuragi discovered a nameless eccentric while patrolling around Azuchi Beach. 2. The inspector brought a certain number of jade steel ingots. Sir Katsuragi discussed the matters of smithing deep into the night with the vice army officer. 3. We at last made a single nagamaki. We call it the Dai Tatara Nakamasa. The inspector was in high spirits, and he and the vice army officer, Nozumu, was so taken by the beauty of the Dai Tatara Nakamasa that he drew a picture of it. He performed a sword dance with that wandering eccentric. 4. And we could not find that eccentric. The inspector flew into rage and slashed Tatsuragi. The great blade cuts deep into the flesh. Cast his own nagamaki into the furnace's flames. Nozumu could not abide by that order and drew the completely melted weapon out of the furnace. He was horribly burnt. 5. Nozumu died that night. I dare say that while Sir Katsuragi may have committed malfeasance, it was out of the goodness of his heart. 6. Kinjoro hid the nagamaki and Nozumi's drawn in the arsenal. Nagamasa is harsh, but also knows right from wrong. Even so, he was not amenable to reason. His name indicates one obsessed with purity. Still, I and some household of Tatarasuna have not been blinded by the matter of Nagamasa's mother, Chiyo, and we trust him. I also remain unwilling to forget the joy of creating the Dai Tatara Nagamasa with him, and that joy of watching that nameless eccentric perform that sword dance with Katsuragi. 7. Before we withdrew, we should have divided the arsenal's key into 3 parts. 1 for the inspector, 1 for the army officer, and 1 to be left in Tatsuruna itself to prevent theft. But we were in too much of a hurry, and neither the inspector nor the army officer could be found. So I was so bold to hide the 3 pieces within the treasure chest in Tatsuruna. Tataratsuna. The 7 notes mentioned prior have been scattered across Tataratsuna area. Among the 7 notes, the 6 seems to be of good physical integrity, though they all look quite old, while the last one looks more recent. I believe the first 6 notes and the last are of different time periods. Though the gulf in the years between them needs to be verified, the contents of the first 6 should also be related to each other, as incidents mentioned are quite consistent with one another. When we once mentioned in the happily hidden tales of Tatarasuna, hereafter known as the Hidden Tales, that in the past, researchers from Sumeru has investigated the cultural histories of Tatarasuna and Inazuma. Though the place has fallen into some degree of disrepair since the Hidden Tales was written, things have improved since the time I wrote my original article. Regardless, what used to be an area of major industry remains a place of most inhospitable, and residents of Tatarasuna may be found living and dwelling by the waters. The residents have told the researchers of Tatarasuna's golden age centuries ago, when it was administered by the Armory Officer Niwa. Vice Armory Officer Miyazaki and Inspector Mikoshi Nagamasa. Yet, the elders among the locals and deeper ties of the region also seemed to stress the fact that there were strange rumors surrounding their homeland's past. A great many of these rumors revolve around the yokai, who are so very charismatic of Inazuma's folk histories. A small number, however, mention the word puppet. It should be known that the puppets are neither traditional or common yokai in Inazuma. These facts drew the attention of the researchers to delve further. Eventually, the following pieces of information came to light. A puppet did once appear in Tatarasuna. It was a visage was elegant. Its apparel impeccable. The way it dressed hid all the joint lines on its body. If no one were to mention it, it was indeed a puppet. It would have been hard to tell at all. Additionally, the puppet seemed to possess special joint lines that would fade with time, potentially even disappearing altogether, which perhaps eventually makes the puppet seem entirely human. The name of the puppet was known to almost none. Some people or some folk claim to have spotted it appearing around Tatarasuna, while others mention encountering it in the central regions of the area. Some people claim that it would frequent the beach. Tales spread of it standing beside the sea and gazing across the waters towards Inazuma City, what it was that the puppet was gazing at remains a mystery. As mentioned earlier, the 6 notes all document 6 nameless eccentric. The eccentric, which is also read as kabuki mono, is usually used in Inazuma to refer a figure who dresses or behaves in a particular manner. It is understandable, therefore, why this character would have left such an impression should the people of Tatarasuna indeed have had a puppet in their midst, incurring mass panic. A good possibility, considering that the coexistence between yokai and humans in Inazuma at large, then the puppet would have likely become a local resident. It is less well known if the kabuki mono was just another title for this puppet. Perhaps because it was uniquely dressed to distract attention from more special characteristics, a workable theory, but one still lacks enough evidence to support it. Still, it can be retained as an analytical lens of sorts. Almost there. A list of individuals related to Tatarasuna has been compiled here, based on historical documents from Inazuma. Starting from the administrators, the records are as follows. Army Officer Niwa. I feel like the lot is being really repetitive in this essay. Full name, Niwa Ishihide. He is the inheritor of the Asian art, the successor to the Niwa clan. His family, along the Akame and the Kadahara clans, were together known as Ishin Sanzaku. Records show that Niwa was modest and intelligent individual who displayed remarkable talent in the administration of territory and people. His eventual whereabouts are unknown, but he is suspected to have left Tatarasuna and his family following the incident. Vice Armor Officer Miyazaki. Full name Miyazaki Kaneo. He was Niwa's second in command. His origins are unknown, and his primarily assisted Niwa in forging and personnel management. He was sort of an affable temperament and had many friends in the region, including one Mikoshi Nagamasa. Inspector Mikoshi Nagamasa, the successor of the Mikoshi clan, adopted son of the Oni warrior Mikoshi Chiyo, and the younger adopted brother to Mikoshi Michishiro, also known as Iwakura, the successor. With his mother's missing and abandoned by his brother, Nagamasa alone bore the family name, striving to daily to wipe the shame from their history. The record states that Mikoshi Nagamasa was a stubborn figure who was also noted to be the person of moral virtue and integrity. It had been noted in various records that he practiced forging swords for self-cultivation, and specifically requested special instructions from Miyazaki to further his capabilities. However, after the famous blade, Dai Tatsura Nagamasa, was forged, he used it to slay his subordinate, Katsuragi, for reasons unknown at present. Subordinate Katsuragi. Katsuragi's full name and background remains unknown. Despite all the materials I have sorted through, I have yet to find any more additional personal information regarding him. As one of Mikoshi Nagamasa's subordinates, he was a loyal warrior who has been saved by Nagamasa in his youth. From then on, he swore to stick by his lord through thick and thin, and give his life in service, if it was but asked of him. Kabuki Mono. Full name unknown. Background unknown. From many sources I have combined, and with Rumi's personal observation, this character I have been a puppet mentioned in rumors. The Kabuki Mono was a hidden, fashionable grace and gentleness. According to the hidden tales, he was brought back to the Tatarasuna by Katsuragi and became a member of the community. When the Kabuki Mono first arrived in Tatarasuna, he knew nothing of cleaning, cooking, or work of meticulous nature. The locals taught him their skills over time, showing him how to clean his attire, dance, and craft small trinkets. Record states that Kabuki Mono was there when the Dai Tatsura Nagamasa was forged, though his trail ends before Mikoshi Nagamasa slew Katsuragi. I believe that the Kabuki Mono was indeed the aforementioned puppet, and yet he was quite likely had a hand in Katsuragi's death. Seems that the rest of the paper remains unfinished. One thing is sure, though. A thought was put into it.
Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious forces will cut it.
Yeah, the mysterious forces in that second part of that book made things a lot of confusing. I had no idea what was going on. I just know something bad was going on.
Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Yeah, it sounds more like a novel. Has this guy ever written an essay before?
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you're ever going to get. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess. Give me some time. I need to find a new angle on this.
I'll leave it to you.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay!
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the Balladeer, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, then even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. There's no point in...
And he would be walking around. What's wrong?
Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
Oh, new day. Do I continue? I kind of am curious. I mean, I know it's the Balladeer. And I remember that this interlude is kind of about him. Yeah, I kind of want to take a peek. I'll take a peek after this, then I'll stop. I'll stop and then do the event and then bring resin and call it a night. It won't be that long, would it? Because I hope it isn't. Wow, Nikita. Hello. How's it? We're just talking to her earlier today.
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida! Bad news. We just saw the Balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough. You're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? Aren't you supposed to be locked up? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the Balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down? But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the Balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Vtui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Vtui plan to respond. Wait a second. Former? You mean he's not a Harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
So he tossed you out like trash.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Vtui, and also between each of the Harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be.
Really? What a crying shame.
Well, if the Vtui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him! Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you serious about this? Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit.
For me?
Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that? Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Vtui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point. It's possible that the Vtui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect.
Oh, hey, hero. Nice to see you again.
The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
What if he lies to you?
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies every time we've run into him! I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, I know what your heart desires most of all. Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it.
Thank you, Nahida.
It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it. Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there anything we can do to help? I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside.
Got it. I'm glad to be able to help.
Great. Thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
Oh, like right now? No, I'm not ready. I was gonna end it there, or stop the story there.
It looks pretty different here compared to last time.
Well,
the colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Guess I can't really get out of here, right? Well, into this other world of plant network we go.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of you.
Nitsina sent me to babysit you. Oh. Ranking in Gundam is kind of hard. Well, it's not hard. It just takes a while, right? How I heard from Jay that it takes like a really long time to even get a match going. So if it takes a long time to match, then it's really hard to find people to go against. And also, it probably won't match fairly either if it's lacking people to match against you. But good luck if you're trying to still climb. Yeah, I know about the new suit that's coming out, the Hyperion Gundam, and yeah, we're talking about Gundam Evolution, by the way, for people who doesn't know. But yeah, it's a interesting suit. Like, it's surprising because it's a suit that not many people know about. I mean, I barely know anything about it either. Only see it through other Gundam games, but it's a suit from Gundam Seed, right? If you're gonna do a suit from Seed, you would think of a lot of other suits that people probably recognize better, but Paris is not one of them. It's from like the Astray series, which isn't really well known as much. Well, it's probably popular. It's just not as popular as the original Seed series. But yeah, either way, I'm excited to see how it goes. It's a kind of like a tank type of unit from the way it looks like it plays. Anyways, gonna try to continue this. That way I can get some sleep eventually, taking me into this dream world.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards, but right now, I'm on temporary release, so maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Understood.
Fine. Let's call it truce. But only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are gonna be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy, it's unbearable.
There's no need for all the biting sarcasm.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure. Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow. So this is the inside of Irminsul.
Different than what I imagined.
Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so... say we did go running off in here. What would happen? What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
Yes, we're slowly walking into the space.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little?
Oh, we're actually almost there.
We're here.
What a huge tree!
This is the center of Irminsul. All the information in the world is flowing through it.
Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
Ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint. The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
He hasn't put up any resistance. He seems good at working on the front line. Maybe he has similar role in the Vtuber? Whereas Akaba and Sawada's stories, now this. What a strange individual.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do. Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk?
Nahida, is this a telepathic conversation?
Yes. I've also invited Paimon to join. Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
Guessing you don't want us to disturb the Balladeer?
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while. Paimon's never tried this before. This is great! So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say.
Yes, and he seems to excel at doing odd jobs for others. He's a tsundere, isn't he?
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers.
About himself. Is it about his past? The betrayals and other events?
Smart and attentive as always.
Actually, I caught a glimpse of a few things I ran into Hypatia at Paradisdea.
So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today. Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else. Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon. Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that? If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes. I know about all of that. Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
And you know about the story? Okay. We're gonna learn the truth?
How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone. So the Gesse got it right?
Gotta doubt that.
They guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Yeah, that's for sure, but they're not sure about who it is.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation.
You have every right to keep certain things confidential.
Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you.
Free conversation with you is hard work, but your attitude is better than I thought.
Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself, and making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement! You have to share it with us!
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
Name. Neo was the main man in charge of Tatarasuna, plus he belongs to the lineage of ancient art. Guessing Niwa was the person taking care of the Balladeer in the past.
Whoa!
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else.
Would you be up for teaming up for tomorrow night for the update? I'll be focusing on Genshin quite a bit for the rest of this week. Maybe more of next week.
Under your leadership, Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place. Like a giant village. People are gainfully employed. Their lives have purpose. They are motivated. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatarasuna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown, all passing on their legacy. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
So he's the eccentric.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. At least not on the same timescale. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatarasuna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma, and it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
Escher.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected, because I didn't want to speculate, and I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope.
Golden Feather? What's that? I think there was supposed to be some sort of daily bonus for the period. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'll probably silently do things very quickly, but I won't be playing it too long. We'll see. There's also things like Iron Banner and Destiny go on right now. So there's quite a lot of things going on, but I kind of want to focus on Genshin when it comes to streaming.
But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
Yeah, he's playing all of them, tricking them all. Assuming he's part Fatui and he has a huge scheme going on to kind of take over.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Oops, Fontaine. That's not Fatui. They're kind of known to be like inventors. Unless he's pretending to be from Fontaine.
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached to my craft.
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatara Suna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
No, he has a knife.
A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all.
Called it. Patooey.
And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatara Suna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place? Is that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
No, they're using the Balladeer. It was all to manipulate the Balladeer. Well, and destroy the Tatara Suna, but... Tui, why are you doing all of this?
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But... this makes no sense. What are you really trying to accomplish by all this? Why go to all this trouble?
Is this the doctor? Because he's able to kind of split his stuff, his mind, and kind of travel all over time, kind of, in a weird sense, in that way.
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled experiment. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
Wow, I have had this whole hunch and instincts. It's telling me the way he kind of talks, the way he acts and stuff like that. It just kind of hinted to that, but I wasn't fully sure.
The Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it? That's why you gave us your cursed technology? Just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, I did not make it with you in mind. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an unsuspecting puppet. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead. What other reason would a human have for befriending one who is not of our kind?
If you give him my heart, tell him that both Nagamasa and I see him as one of us. He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants to use other people. The only ones who think like that are people like you.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself.
And Eva was really close. He knew a lot of things about this guy, but couldn't figure out who exactly he was. And he really left his guard down when he turned his back. It's tragic.
Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa? Already dead. What a pity.
And he's gonna do something to make it look like Niwa ran away. Scaramouche or Balladeer is gonna be torn about this whole thing.
Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was.
So I guess it was also him responsible taking out all those people that were just trying to go out for help.
I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
It's as if Balladeer didn't really have much of a choice. Uh-oh. Knowing the truth, that's quite a lot for him. And I guess since he didn't know this whole time that's being used, that's a lot for him to kind of learn.
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore? Dottore!
Almost like he's breaking. Oh, he's definitely breaking.
Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine?
I'm afraid so. He was the one behind the Tatsuruna incident.
But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments,
I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
His betrayal was a lie that he believed for hundreds of years was the part of the doctor's experiment? If the betrayal never happened, it existed only in his imagination. But where does this leave him?
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
Okay, let's go over there.
They need to give him some time to process his emotions. Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up? Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the kabuki mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as the mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the Balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the Balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process.
It really was Niwa's heart?
The load was far beyond what he expected, but the Balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants.
What? That's so twisted. Tell him a lie like that.
The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The Balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it had protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the Balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatarasuna without looking back.
Oh my god, that's sad. Like, if he knew the truth, then, I mean, now that he knows the truth, that's really hurting him, what he just did in the past.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
Being betrayed and abandoned by a close friend is sure to cause some great resentment. Now we know what was behind his decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokiden 100 years ago. But it doesn't mean the vengeance was the right decision.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Tottori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
I mean, I'm surprised that he didn't find out himself, because a while later.
Shall we see how he's doing?
Because the person doesn't really just disappear without a trace, right? even if you suspected it was Niwa, I think he would have gone and searched for him and found some kind of evidence or find nothing, right? When you find nothing, you kind of know something's wrong. It would have kind of dig towards the right direction, but oh my god, this is a really crazy twist. I mean, I didn't even think the whole heart thing. That was something I just did not like deduce at all.
Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend.
This is because we know each other know each other so much, especially with the deep that part of a deep background. Probably that would kind of be almost the definition of a friend, right? Well, we just want to make sure that this doesn't affect the plan.
It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Teyvat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Not quite. Not unexpected, but still. Thank you.
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first destination when she arrived in this world. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your sister for a time.
The Jester? Another Fatui Harbinger? Why?
I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me.
What do you want to know?
Give me your hand.
I mean, at this point, he doesn't have anything really against you.
Can you hear my voice inside your head?
He just wants a private conversation. Are you trying to brainwash me? No, I'm pretty sure he's not gonna do that. He doesn't have a reason to at this point.
No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past?
Oh. Is it? I don't think. Actually, kind of. We have changed the past sometimes, right? With the Raiden, how she kind of grew the tree. She sent that seed all into the past to grow, to kind of suck up all the filth. That was kind of changed in the past. And then the other one was with Nahida, right? Her other self. The Greater Lord of Rukadabata, where we kind of erased her from existence. All the way in the past again. So the answer is technically yes, there is a way, though it's kind of weird how to do it. Oh, well, I tell him the truth? Or they don't even know I'm doing that. Wait, why would you ask that? Well, that's obviously because he wants to kind of change, you know, what happened in Tataratsuna, right?
Done.
Huh? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping me.
Wait, he know already? Wait, that look. Did he see me hesitate? But that was because I know about the Greater Lord Rukadabata.
So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
I didn't catch that. I think of something.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Balladeer, stop. Paimon, we have to stop him.
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist.
He's trying to erase himself from existence now?
Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Trying to redeem himself. I mean, yeah, I guess. Done a lot of bad things ever since all those things he kind of went through.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow. Oh no, he's really gone.
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power.
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
Well, that was like, like right away. You'd think it'd be a little bit harder to get out of this place if it took us some time to get in. Back in the real world, but I feel like the brunt of the interlude was pretty much everything we just did, and it feels like I should just kind of continue it to the end at this point, right? Let me... Where am I in the story? Wait. Character currently involved in nerd quest cannot join this quest. Who? Nahida. Oh, okay. Well, that's the first hurdle that's stopping us from continuing the story. It is getting kind of late, so I think I will probably save the event I was trying to do earlier for another date. Probably doesn't take too long, but it is a bit of my time to sleep, right? But what I will do, however, is burn a resin very quick. And I'm trying to remember if I've done this yet. I think that's the remaining boss I have not beat yet. Oh, 0-1? Maybe not. Maybe I did it already. I did that. The child as well. Okay, I beat all the weekly bosses already from the way it looks. Oops. So what I would probably do is use my look for resin to kind of beat the Dendro hypostasis. Right? Okay, yeah. Dendro hypostasis we go. Yeah, it kind of sucks to kind of have to be cut right here, but it's not like I have a choice, and it's gonna be kind of long to do another character story, so it's definitely not the right day to kind of do it. But man, that's a lot of things we learned, a lot of things I kind of managed to kind of piece together myself and figure out on my own, but also quite a surprising twist for things I didn't catch. And it's just mind-boggling. It's a lot of dialogue. And the facts and the hints that are kind of given to you, there was like barely anything to go along with. The only thing I had was just a possibility, a chance. The only thing I could think of, and it just happened to be true. Okay, so this boss should be pretty easy to beat. A little trick to him, but it doesn't take too long.
Hey!
Take a picture of it.
Quietly now. Stand with me! My apologies!
It's a bit too early using Lan's ability right off the bat.
Take it easy.
Okay, I'm gonna use Nahida first. Ouch. A bit too early right there, I guess.
Game's up. Fun is over. Our bond is strong. Take flight.
Oh, okay. Maybe not as fast as I thought it would be. Okay, as soon as you open, I'm just gonna use my burst. Alright, what I should have opened it up with in the first place? Okay. That should do. Electricity worked, right? Oh, there you go. It didn't quite. Yeah. Not too great. I mean, I do have to wait a little bit for the next Dendro hypostasis to spawn. I have enough to do another one. I guess I could go ahead and do the event as a waiting. Oh, no. I got a better idea. I'm gonna do commissions. That will speed things up for me. Bleacher Towers. It's probably better for me to switch my travel team. Gonna have to change the title of my stream. I first thought I was just gonna focus on the event, But it's as short as I kind of thought it would be. I didn't think I would be too dragged into the main story today, but yeah, it really just did not let me go where I wanted to go.
Quietly now.
Okay, I'm not actually here to beat them. Just passing by. Can I destroy it like this? No, it doesn't do enough damage.
Busted.
Okay, next commission. Jumping challenge. At least the commissions here in Sumeru are kind of quick. Yeah, with this out of the way, I'm probably gonna be able to have time to do other things more quickly and be able to stream more earlier tomorrow. So technically, I'm just taking that time and putting it in to tonight right now, technically losing sleep over it, but it's okay. At least I don't have to worry about resin so much tomorrow. I can just focus on everything that needs to be done. Oops. Yeah, so for Gundam, I'm pretty excited for to try the new suit and everything, but oh wait, do I even have the cars? I could technically buy him right off the bat. I have enough capital to buy another character. It would mean I would have to like spend quite a bit of time that season to kind of build up for the next character, but I have enough time for that. It's either I spend it on Hyperion, or I spend it on Ashiro or Milizaku. I think those are the only two other suits in Gundam Evolution that I don't have. But I mean, out of the three characters right now, I think that new character does look good. But at the same time, it's one thing to see the concept of the character and know that they're good. They look good on paper as a tank and stuff like that, but whether they really are good, whether they're better picked than other characters, that's unknown until we actually try them out. But hey, at least you could try them in practice mode now and know for sure. Okay, I never gotten here so much, but I'm assuming you want food. Delicious meal. Take a little break. Curry? Potato. We need to find some potato. Easy, here we go. Yep. Oh, this is a good deal. He's making food for both of us. Thank you. That was a really random commission, but I'll take it. It's not often you do a job that feeds you as the main goal. There should be one more commission left. I can't exactly find it on the map, so it's probably easier to do it from here. Time trial. Time trials are easy. I don't think I've ever really failed one, really. Even at the beginning of the game. Well, maybe at the beginning of the game I did. Especially when I barely have any 5-star characters. But ever since I got 5-star characters, that's literally impossible for me to fail now. Yeah, one of these days I will be able to get Spiral Abyss all completely done, getting all max stars again. Used to be able to do it, it's just this has been getting really hard lately.
The wind knows me. Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
You know, the one thing I haven't figured out is why is the doctor doing all this? Like this experiment. Why is he being so evil? What happened to him to kind of have him be this way? And detail. Oh, because the second part locked. That's right. Again, I can wait till later. No big rush. I have how many days? 11 days and 4 days that I want to do the minigame thing, so
Quietly now.
I have time. This was random.
Can't catch me.
Roll you in.
Gotcha.
String you up.
Take flight.
Swapper flower material is always valuable, so it's not a bad thing. Okay, we're done with the daily commission. We'll just stop by the Dendro Hypostasis one more time. Turn in the daily commissions, then we're totally done for tonight. This is way longer than I would have hoped, staying up to kind of do these things, but at least we got a lot of progress so far. I guess that's always nice. I just need to kind of start trying to stream more early and get these like story stuff done more early so that I can kind of reserve some sleep. Okay. Oh, wait, don't start yet. I don't have a Danger character. It's like impossible to beat this thing with that one, I think. Oh, maybe there's a way to beat it that I don't know. I heard you could burn it too.
Everyone hold hands.
Quietly now.
Whirling snow. Yeah. Yeah. Hey.
You can do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this.
To get set.
Our bond is strong.
Take flight.
Sakura swirl.
Oh, almost fast enough. I mean, if I just did it right off the bat, I probably could have done it. I don't know why I'm so focused on trying to like bloom it to death.
Stand with me.
There you go.
Dissipate.
That's how you exercise a Dendro Hypostasis. Crit rate is nice, but the substat not so much. Maybe if you rolled crit damage, then maybe? Maybe. But that said, it's like barely used for anything. Okay, so we're gonna turn in this daily commission stuff. Awa and leeway, I guess. We're gonna call it at night. It's pretty eventful today, huh? More eventful than I thought it would be. I was thinking of cutting it short today, but it ended up being one of my longer streams.
Add Astro. Thank you for
Okay. We're all done. So, yeah, so tomorrow I'm gonna continue to do some Genshin, though tomorrow is when the new character in Gundam comes out. I'm just gonna be taking a peek at that offline. But yeah, I just really want to catch up with Genshin, and it's best to kind of do it this week. But for sure, even if I don't catch up with Genshin this week, next week I'll start doing other activities. Kind of resume trying out some Gundam, do some collab stuff, and like try out some other games that I've been wanting to try that I've been postponing for several months. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy how much Genshin I need to do, and I'm never caught up, but I'm really focused on trying to get it caught up this time around. And I mean, this whole story is kind of lighting
a little more often.
an urge in me. I'm actually like, I do really want to like, you know, find out more about what happens to the Balladeer, Scaramouche, right? It's the story in this game is interesting, and this is the reason why I kind of continue playing this game in the first place. If it wasn't for how good the story has been, or how like detailed the environment has been, how good the characters are, then I would have left this game long ago. But this thing just continually keeps pulling me in and keeps throwing me content for me to complete. That's like almost like an endless amount of content, almost. Before, people complained that there isn't enough content, but now it feels like there's a never-ending amount. But yeah, I'll eventually catch up. I just need a hard focus this week. So yeah, so tomorrow I'll continue playing some more Genshin. Hopefully do a little bit of the event and continue more of the main or Nahida's main side story than the main story if I still have time. So that's the big goal for tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then if you guys are gonna be there. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Have a good night. NoukonNeko signing out. Bye.